Title: The Midnight Train. Every night at exactly 12:15, a train rumbled through the small town of Birch Hollow. The strange thing was, no one had ever seen the train arrive or leave. People heard its whistle in the dead of night, the faint hum of wheels on the old tracks. But if you went to the station, all you would find was darkness and silence. Some said it was just a ghost train, an old myth to scare children, but others weren't so sure. One evening, a curious young man named Thomas decided he would find out the truth. He had grown up in Birch Hollow, hearing stories about the midnight train his entire life, but he had never believed them. Still, a part of him wondered, what if? Armed with nothing but a flashlight and a flask of coffee, he made his way to the old train station on the edge of town. The place had been abandoned for years, weeds growing up through the cracks in the platform. The clock above the station was frozen at 12:15, as if the hands had given up trying to keep time. Thomas sat on the cold bench, his breath visible in the chilly air, and waited. Hours passed, and just as he was about to call it a night, he heard it. Faint at first, but unmistakable, the sound of a train approaching. The whistle, low and haunting, echoed through the valley. His heart pounded. He stood up, peering down the tracks. In the distance, through the fog, a light appeared. Slowly and possibly, an old steam locomotive emerged from the mist, its black iron wheels grinding on the rails. But something was off. There were no passengers. The windows were dark, the carriages empty. The train came to a stop in front of Thomas, its doors hissing open as if waiting for him. A chill ran down his spine, but his curiosity got the better of him. He stepped inside. The interior was eerily quiet, the seats old and worn, as though they hadn't been used in decades. As the doors slid shut behind him, the train jolted forward, and Thomas realized they were moving. He rushed to the window, watching as Birch Hollow faded into the distance. He should have been scared, but instead, a strange sense of calm washed over him. The train sped through the night, past unfamiliar towns and empty fields, until it reached a tunnel that Thomas had never seen on any map. They plunged into darkness, and for a moment, he felt weightless, as if time itself had stopped. When they emerged on the other side, the train came to a slow halt at a station bathed in golden light. The platform was filled with people Thomas recognized. His grandfather, who had passed away years ago, stood among them, smiling. Childhood friends, lost loves, even his dog from when he was a boy, they were all there, waiting for him. Thomas stepped off the train, overwhelmed by a sense of peace. He realized then that the midnight train wasn't just a myth. It was a passage, a journey between worlds, taking passengers to places beyond the realm of the living. And as the train pulled away, leaving nothing but mist and memories behind, Thomas understood that he had found his destination at last.